In this video, I'm going to be ranking the best small forward cards right now in NBA 2K25 My Team on a tier list here, ranking from S that does go all the way down to D tier, and we have about 35-ish of the best small forwards right now in my team, and I'll be giving you guys my opinions on all of these top tier small forwards in the game and where I do think they rank here on the best small forward tier list. So Blake Griffin, I think easily has to be in the S tier category. He is one of the, if not best small forwards in this game. I think he has a legit argument to be argued as the best small forward. He's 6'9", 6'11" wingspan, is obviously a 100 overall card, so he's going to have 99 every single stat, basically 30 Hall of Fame badges, which is ridiculous for defense. He's got that Hoff Limitless, set shot specialist, shifty shooter, deadeye, pretty much all you need on a Blake Griffin card. And then you take a look at the animations, and he's got a great jump shot. I really like that Jonathan Isaac base. I really like the Oscar upper. On very quick timing, I think it's an elite level jump shot. And then he's also got like top tier guard dribble sigs. Like, he moves like a point guard. He can slash to the basket with some of the best dunking animations in this game, while also being a 100 overall card. I think it's a pretty no-brainer that Blake Griffin is going to be in that S tier category. Now, talking about Kenyon Martin, kind of on the flip side, I don't know if he's like D tier. I don't think he's one of the worst small forwards on this tier list, but honestly, he might be. Like, he's 6'9" at small forward, 7-foot wingspan is great. The defensive stats could be a little bit better, but the thing about Kenyon Martin is I just don't think he has the best of jump shot in the world. I think his dribble sigs are not bad. Like, he's got tray escape, which is nice. He's got Russell Westbrook dribble style, which is cool. But like, realistically, there's a lot of small forwards on this list that I do think are better than Kenyon Martin, and you guys have to remember, these are like the top 35 small forwards in the game. So any single card on this tier list is definitely usable, and most of these cards are actually very elite at the small forward position. AK-47 I think is a really good defensive small forward. I don't know, because of his lack of offense and his lack of a good jump shot, I don't know if you can really put this card any higher than B tier, but I feel like B tier is good. Right, for AK, 6'9" at small forward, 7-foot wingspan, but has that top level defense, especially on the perimeter. He's going to be one of the better all-around defenders in this game. Like I said, the jump shot's not bad, but it's definitely not one of my favorite jump shots in this game, especially only on normal timing. So I do think AK is going to be in that B tier category. Talking about Tony Kukoc, I would say he's probably also B tier. He's got really good size at the small forward position, right? He's 6'11" at the 3, 7'2" wingspan, 94 3 balls, great. Decent defensive stats, you know, really good Hall of Fame shooting badges. For me, I think it's the lack of jump shot. Not really too big of a fan of his release, but I think for a tall small forward, he has really good dribble sigs. But again, that jump shot to me is what holds him back a little bit. But I do think he's a very similar small forward card to Hedo Turkoglu, who we'll obviously talk about here in a second on this tier list. But I would say Tony Kukoc is a pretty solid B tier small forward. Now, Scottie Pippen, I think he's kind of that next step up, right? I like Scottie Pippen more at the shooting guard position. I think he's just a lot better at shooting guard, able to take advantage of him being a taller shooting guard. Where small forward, he's definitely not small for the small forward position, but he's not like a Tony Kukoc or a Jonathan Isaac or a Jonathan Bender or a Lauri Markkanen or a Giannis. These guys that are 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot tall, you know, at small forward, but he's definitely not undersized at the small forward position. I just like this card a lot more at shooting guard, but he is still a very good small forward card, really good defender on the perimeter, 99 perimeter, 98 steal. If you guys are looking for a pure lock, a guy that is just going to play clamp up defense, not much better than Scottie Pippen, but I do think he's going to be in that A tier category. I think Jonathan Isaac is probably also A tier. Again, very good defensive card. Now, he does have the height, but the thing about this card is definitely the jump shot's a little bit concerning. Not really the biggest fan of this upper. I think it kind of ruins the jump shot. I still think it's not as bad as maybe people are saying. I still think you can green with this card consistently, but I think he really makes up for it with his defense. I mean, his defensive stats are perfect, his badges are perfect, but the thing about this card is it's got to be like his tendencies or his animations. There's something in here that just makes Jonathan Isaac block so many more shots. It feels like he gets every single steal on the perimeter, and he just flies around the court contesting every single shot. Really like Jonathan Isaac's defense. I'm really high on this card. I do think he's one of the better small forwards in the game. Gonna put him in that A tier category. Now, Kyle Kuzma, for me, probably in between that like C and B tier category. I think I'm going to go C. He's a good offensive small forward, lacks a little bit of defense and lacks some dribble sigs, but has a good jump shot and is a decent all-around small forward. Josh Smith, I think he's probably our second S tier guy. Josh Smith is an absolute beast, man. Like, he is seriously one of the best small forwards in this game. He's 6'9" at the 3, 7-foot wingspan. That defense is seriously top tier. One of the best defending small forwards in this game. One of the best slashing small forwards. Like, he basically has the stats of a 100 overall card. His badges are really good, besides maybe missing, you know, some Hall of Fame shooting badges. Like, it'd be nice if he had Deadeye and Limitless and Shifty Shooter, for example, on Hall of Fame, but still a really good card stats and badges wise. But the thing about Josh Smith is he's actually got a very quick and a very elite jump shot with this Andre Drummond base, Marcus Morris Sr. upper on very quick timing. Is actually a really good jump shot. He's got great dribble sigs. This card seriously plays amazing in game, and I think is definitely an S tier small forward. I think he's probably a top 5-ish small forward in this game, maybe even a little bit higher. Could be debatably top 3 right now in my team. I think Michael Beasley's also got to be an S. You really don't get that scoring ability from pretty much any other small forward in this game. If you need a card just to go get you a bucket, a guy that's going to drop 20 points per game, have a really quick jump shot, good dribble sigs, and is tall at the small forward position, you're not going to get much better than Michael Beasley. Sure, his defense isn't great. Sure, his badges aren't anything spectacular, but this card makes up for with his animations and that jump shot. Really one of the best all-around small forwards in this game. Gonna put him in the S tier category. Carlos Boozer, I would say is A. I don't think he's an S tier small forward, but I do think he's a lot better than like an AK-47 or a Tony Kukoc. He's got a great jump shot. He plays really good defense. And man, he is really good for his price of only like 50 to 55K. Talking about Detlef Schrempf, he's probably another C tier guy. Just not really anything too spectacular, you know, about Detlef Schrempf. He's 6'10" at small forward, which is cool, 7-foot wingspan. His stats are very mediocre, like they're solid across the board, but basically 90s and everything besides a 3-point shot, which he does have at a 96. But the thing about that is I'm not really too big of a fan of his jump shot. I think it's an okay jump shot at best, but I don't think it's anything crazy. He's got like normal size up, you know, he's got the basic behind the back. The LaMelo Ball escape is alright. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Devin Booker dribble style is kind of solid as well, but nothing insane. This card is just a tall small forward, you know, with a high 3 ball, but really doesn't have a great jump shot. I think Detlef Schrempf is good, but I think he's going to be in that C tier category. Now, Jonathan Bender, I feel like you have to put him in high B tier. I would say he's very, very high B tier. Like, I do think Jonathan Isaac's better. I think Scottie Pippen's better, and I think Boozer is slightly better at the small forward position. But Jonathan Bender is 7 foot with one of the quickest jump shots in this game. Really, really good small forward card. I think he's definitely kind of that top end of B tier. Looking at the next small forward, Paolo Banchero. Now, I know a lot of people are really high on this card still to this day. I think Banchero is good, but I don't know if I would put him any higher than the B tier category. I think he's on that like AK-47 Jonathan Bender level. He's 6'10" at the 3, 7-foot wingspan. His stats are solid, but they're not incredible. His animations and his jump shot really just are kind of behind the curve, kind of behind the 8 ball and the power curve right now in my team. I think once he gets a Dark Matter card, which I could see coming very soon, probably in the first couple weeks of season 6, I could definitely see him getting a Dark Matter card. And if he gets his jump shot on very quick timing, or he gets some better dribble sigs, or, you know, his stats and his badges just become better across the board, he could easily be an A or maybe even S tier small forward. But I think for right now, I think B tier is a solid spot for Paolo Banchero. Michael Porter Jr., I think he's not bad. I think he's better than some of the cards in C tier, but realistically not too high on this card. He kind of just plays like MBJ in real life. He can shoot the 3 ball, shoot over the top of people, but really doesn't do much else and just shoot the basketball. And I think he's sort of a low B to maybe high C tier small forward card. Dark Matter LeBron, I still think you have to have an S tier. Is he the best small forward in the game anymore? Is he top 3? Most likely not, but it's still LeBron. He's still a very good defensive card. He's a great slasher, and we know his jump shot on very quick is actually a great jump shot this year. So I think LeBron is easily still going to be in S tier small forward. Chris Webber, obviously S tier. I would say probably the best small forward in this game. I know some people don't like this card as much as maybe me. I know JC I've seen says that he's the best card in the game, and I would agree with that. I think Chris Webber right now is the best card in this game. This jump shot is insane. The best jump shot on paper. His dribble sigs are amazing, and all around this card just plays insanely good defense. And he's 6'10" with a 7'3" wingspan. He gets really good rebounding animations because he's normally like a power forward center card. So he's got those like really good worm animations, and just all around Chris Webber plays exceptionally good as just the probably most complete small forward in this game. Can defend at the highest level, can create at the highest level for the small forward position. Next small forward, Larry Bird. He's going to be our first D tier card. D tier small forward, he's just pretty bad. We all know Larry Bird this year, and every single year in my team really just isn't that great. I think Rudy Gay is B. I think he's probably high B tier. Maybe you could argue the A tier category, but I do think there's a couple small forward cards that we'll talk about here that are definitely going to be better than Rudy Gay, but I would say him and Jonathan Bender are at that top of the B tier category. Rudy Gay still has a great jump shot, pretty good dribble sigs, and is a great slasher, just kind of lacks a little bit of defense with those stats and those badges as well. I think Lamar Odom, because of his size, again, you kind of have to put him in the B tier category. He's 6'10" or 6'11". He's got good size. He's really well rounded of a small forward card, but don't really like his animations too much. Don't think he has that great of a jump shot or that great of dribble sigs. Jamal Mashburn, he's probably like another B tier guy as well, but I'm almost thinking like, is Jamal Mashburn A tier? Because he's a really good small forward card. 6'8" at the 3, 6'11" wingspan. The card's got a great jump shot. Sorry, he's got a really good jump shot with that Naz Reid base, Kevin Durant upper on very quick. Really good jump shot. He's got solid dribble sigs. Like, I think there's an argument to be made that Jamal Mashburn is an A tier small forward. I would probably realistically take him over Rudy Gay. I think he's got just as good of a jump shot, just as good of dribble sigs, and like better stats and badges. And you know, you could argue maybe the better jump shot as well. So I think Jamal Mashburn will probably stay in that high B tier category for now, but I could easily see Jamal Mashburn being an A tier small forward 1000%. Jason Tatum, he's going to go in D tier. You guys know I just don't like Jason Tatum cards. I don't think he's very good. I'm sure there'll be a Tatum fan that comments under this video saying that Tatum is really good and is an A tier small forward, but I just don't think he's very good. Miles Bridges, I think he's okay. I think, you know, maybe not a lot of people have tried out this card just because it's not really worth exchanging for him, but he's 6'7" at the 3, 6'9" wingspan. His stats are not bad. His jump shot's okay, but like realistically, I think he's gonna be in that C tier category. Now, Opal LeBron, I'm gonna put an A. I don't think he's the S tier level that the Dark Matter is, just because his jump shot's only on normal timing compared to the Dark Matter has his release on very quick. So I do think there's kind of that gap difference where Dark Matter LeBron is an S tier small forward, but I think Gally Super LeBron is an A tier small forward. That's just my personal opinion. Brandon Ingram, really good at shooting guard because he's 6'10", but realistically, he really is good at the shooting guard position because of his height. He's 6'10", but at the small forward position, it isn't as crazy to have a 6'10" small forward. A lot of these cards are like 6'9" and above, so I do think Brandon Ingram is going to be in that B tier category. Lauri Markkanen, I think, is also B. I would say an overpriced and overrated card. I think he's solid. He's 7 foot at small forward with a pretty good jump shot and has that duo with Kobe White to put him up to a Dark Matter. But this card really isn't anything special besides the fact that he's 7 foot at the small forward position. Giannis Dark Matter, easily going to be an S tier, one of the more versatile cards in this game. He can defend the 1 through 5. He's an amazing slasher, really good help side defender. You can put him on the ball, and if he's wide open, he can knock down a 3 very, very consistently if you're good with his jump shot. Talking about Shawn Kemp, I kind of want to put him in A tier, but I don't know, like, is he better than a Jamal Mashburn? Is he better than a Jonathan Bender? He probably is. He's 6'10" at the 3, 7'1" wingspan, great stats across the board. He has a good jump shot on very quick. He's got okay dribble sigs, and he does get really good slashing animation. So I do think Shawn Kemp is probably going to be in that like low A tier category. Talking about Galaxy Simple Giannis, I think you could argue S tier, but I'm just going to put him in A. I don't want to have too many cards in the S tier category, but I do think you could argue Opal Giannis is still an S tier small forward, but I'm going to have him and LeBron in that A tier category. Hedo Turkoglu, like I said, is very similar to Tony Kukoc. I think they're pretty much the same small forward, both going to be in the B tier category. Jared Wallace, I really like this card. I'm going to put him in A tier. I know that's probably a huge disagreement for most people, but I think Jared Wallace is amazing. I think he's AK-47 with a much better jump shot and better stats and badges, so I would say he's like an upgraded version of AK, so that's why in my opinion he's going to be in the A tier category. Kevin Durant, now this is the hard topic. Is he S tier? I'm going to come back to that in a second. I think Scotty Barnes, he's B tier. He's a really good defender, but again, lack of jump shot and lack of offense at the small forward position. Adam Morrison, I think he's A tier. I think he's a little bit overpriced, or he's definitely way overpriced, and I think he's a little bit overrated, but he still is a very good small forward card. Gotta put him at least in the A tier category. And then Tyler Hansbrough, I think, is also A tier. He's a very similar small forward to Carlos Boozer. These guys are really, really good at the small forward position. But here's kind of my question to you guys. If you've made it all the way to this video, if you're watching this part, let me know, where would you guys put Dark Matter Kevin Durant? Because to me, I think the 6 small forwards in S tier are better than Kevin Durant. I think LeBron, Giannis, Beasley, Josh Smith, Blake Griffin, and Chris Webber are all better than Kevin Durant. But then I would probably take KD at small forward over most of these small forwards in A tier. Like, I would take him over a Hansbrough, take him over a Boozer most likely. Boozer and Hansbrough, it's a close debate. I'd probably take him over like a Shawn Kemp, probably take him over a Jonathan Isaac, a Scottie Pippen. I think it's a really close debate. So let me know in the comment section down below, where would you guys put Dark Matter Kevin Durant? I'm going to leave him in A tier category for now, but let me know if you guys would upgrade and move him up to the S tier category. I think Kevin Durant is definitely one of the better small forwards, especially on the offensive end right now in my team. But hopefully you guys did enjoy my small forward tier list. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions down below. I'll quickly scroll down. You guys can see the bottom half of the tier list, but let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions, what you guys would change about it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.